Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you're here. Over 1,000 of you. We cannot believe how many subscribers.
I'm just in awe and shock and amazed and happy.
And thank you
Yes, thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks for joining us multiple times, subscribing, and the comments, the feedback.
Are so sweet.
We have enjoyed reading that. We've enjoyed engaging with you guys. So
Yeah.
Thank you for adding to our TBR list, just like we're adding to yours. So we so appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's so early on in our booktube journey, but we're so excited that so many of you have found the channel and been like pleased with it, and you didn't hate it and turn it off, and that you have been like Gina said, giving us some recommendations and some feedback, and we're so excited to have over 1,000 of you here with us talking books. It's amazing. Thank you guys so much. We can't tell you how much it makes our day. We are texting nonstop, being like, can you believe it? Did you see that comment? So
it's been joyful to react to. Yeah, it's been joyful to see the reactions. It's been joyful to watch you guys react and comment. And I just so blessed and excited. And
so blessed and dumbfounded.
Yes. So thank you and welcome back.
Welcome back. So, okay, enough sappy stuff. Let's get down to business. So what are we talking about today? What are we doing?
So today is a recap of our, make sure I'm in the right month, April's book clubs. This year is flying by, folks. So April's book clubs. So we have 4 books for you today. We have our fantasy, our mystery, our historical fiction, and our classics. So let's get started. And we're going with what first, Shelby?
We are going to start with fantasy. This month, Fantasy Book Club discussed The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. A lot of people, I've seen this a lot recently, haven't you? All over social media, TikTok, Instagram, social media, you know. And so I'll give you a brief rundown of it. The main character, her name is Cassie. I just read this and I had to look and see what her name was. Caitlin Cassie. Caitlin's in another book, isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
Cassie. So Cassie works at a bookstore and she has a friend. He's an older man, and the older man passes away. And he passes away and he gives Cassie this mysterious book, like a leather wrapped journal. And she doesn't really know what it is. And eventually, Cassie discovers that this wrapped journal is the Book of Doors, and the Book of Doors can be used to go through a regular door, but then, like, in your mind, you're envisioning another door, and you can go through any door. So Cassie is unsure what to do with the book at first. She doesn't know, is this good or is it bad? And then we find out that there are other books that do other things, and that people want these books. Some for good reasons, some for bad reasons. This was a debut book by Gareth Brown, and that is astounding. That somebody could come up with this story as a debut, like their first.
That's awesome.
It was crazy. And so I really enjoyed this, and the whole book club loved it. We had several people who said that this was their favorite book that Fantasy Book Club has read.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was glowing praise.
Wow.
And it was such a fun discussion because if you can imagine, if you are traveling to these different places, it sounds like it could be hard to like keep track of, but it wasn't that bad. But at the book club discussion, when we were all talking together, we were like, okay, and so then they did this and they did this. Yes. And so it was everyone like working together to like piece the story together and the journey. And it was a lot of fun. And I feel like this is a great book to read with someone or at least have someone to discuss it with.
Okay.
And if you don't have that someone, I am your someone. I have read it and I am ready and waiting and needing to talk to more people about it.
So is this when they travel through the doors? Because I haven't read it yet. It's on my TBR and I actually
Gina would like it.
Yeah, I would really like it. I'm wanting to read it really bad. Is it an alternate reality, or is it a version of their reality that they travel to, or is that something you can tell without telling anything to?
No, it's all reality.
Okay.
Like, and it takes place like in today's world, in this world.
Okay.
And the only thing that is different, the only bit of magical realism is like this door, this Book of Doors. But as you get further on, you do see there are so many other magical things. So it's like, but it's rooted in today's world.
Okay.
So
is it similar at all to Midnight Library, or did you read Midnight Library?
I did not read Midnight Library, but it was comped with One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, which our Fantasy Book Club also read, and they loved that. That's actually Marissa, our book club's leader. That's like her favorite book of all time. So they said the magic system, if you're a magic system person, was very similar to One Dark Window. And it also, for me, had very similar vibes of A Making of June Farrell.
Okay.
By Adrienne Young, which
Such,
loved.
So if they like this better than that, that's really topping it, because that was such a loved book.
Yeah.
And I loved that
Yeah,
book.
I know. I liked Unmaking of June Farrell better.
Okay.
But because I liked that so much, I knew that I was going to like this going into it.
Oh, well, then I really want to read it now.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Okay.
But Unmaking of June Farrell had romance.
Yeah.
You know, and this one doesn't really have romance. It's
Okay.
more of like a fantasy, kind of a mystery.
Oh.
And there's a lot of, I hesitate to say adventure, like, because that makes me think of like Indiana Jones, you know, but it's not like that. But they are like,
they're discovering things.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
So it is an adventure.
So it is an adventure.
Yeah.
Just not archaeology.
Exactly. No digging.
No digging.
Maybe.
No digging.
Maybe.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm excited.
That was the Book of Doors. Fantasy Book Club loved it. You're probably going to love it. It's everywhere on social media. Highly recommend. So that was Fantasy Book Club's pick for this month. Gina, tell us about mystery.
Well, Count My Lies is by Sophie Stava, and Count My Lies is a very good title because there are so many lies in this book. You won't be able to count the lies in this book. Oh my goodness. I'm trying really, really hard not to give anything away because we do not want any spoilers. I want you to read this. But it starts with a girl named Sloane, and Sloane tells you right off the bat, she lies.
Yes.
And there's a very good quote at the beginning of this book. I always thought it would be better to be a fake somebody than a real nobody. And that is a quote from Tom Ripley in The Talented Mr. Ripley. So if you've ever watched the movie or read any of the Mr. Ripley book, you're going to recognize some of that wanting to be somebody else, needing to feel connected to the world or wanting to feel important. So that's where Sloane comes in.
Mm-hmm.
She has a very odd beginning, and she always feels the necessity of telling whoppers, big tales.
Like serious lies.
Yes, to make people like her. And that's where it starts. So you get that right off the bat, that Sloane is a liar. Mm-hmm. And then she meets somebody in the park, and the little girl is stung by a bee, and she wants to help. And instead of just saying, hey, I can help, she says, I'm a nurse, and my name is Caitlin. Like, why?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be any reason to
anybody can help with a bee sting.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there was no reason. She didn't know these people. She wasn't, I mean, like, why tell a lie? Why tell your name is different and that you're a nurse to help with a bee sting and a little 5-year-old or 4-year-old? Mm-hmm. I was like, that was really odd. But it snowballs from there. I mean, and she'll tell you, I have to keep track of my lies. So lie number 1, lie number 2, lie number 3. It's just amazing the amount of lies she tells. But then as she gets in with this family, this little girl and the dad and the mom and her current job as a nail tech, the lies just snowball and compile, and then you don't know who's telling the truth and who's not. There's also a little aspect of single white female going on, mm-hmm. where somebody's identity, she gets in and she's not happy with herself. So she's always wanting to make herself different, better, or a version of somebody she really likes.
Right.
So it's so good. I don't even know how to tell you more about it without telling you about it.
She's just one of those people that's like, she wants someone to like her.
Yeah.
So she is going to take on like their, oh, you like that? Yeah, that's actually my favorite. You know, but then it starts, I shouldn't even say it starts with small things.
No, they're huge. They're huge lies.
It doesn't start with small things. Yeah,
they're big
huge.
Lies.
And so it is such an unreliable like narrator. Did you see any of the twists coming?
No, I didn't. I think the lies that in the second part of the book, I expected to be different. I expected one character to be lying, but not the way she was.
Oh,
I kind of expect, because of the one scene where she sees her with the phone, where Caitlin sees her with a phone and she recognizes that there's something going on. I had my suspicions of what the lie was, but it had nothing to do with what it ended up being. And the ending, I'm telling you, the lies go to the last page. The last page. There are still lies and twists. So this was a really, really good read. It was easy to follow, and I did not like one particular character at all.
Oh no. There is a downright dirty, dastardly character. But did you like Caitlin?
I did. I somehow felt sorry for her.
Yeah, you do kind of feel sorry.
I did. I felt like she just wanted, like, none of her lies were meant to hurt anybody. And she felt really bad when somebody did get hurt because of her lie. And I say hurt, like there was feelings or a loss of a job or whatever. Even friends, as she tells the backstory of her growing up, she felt bad about it.
Yeah,
she just desperately wanted to be liked and accepted and loved. And so I did like her.
Yep.
I mean, the lies continue on and on and on and on.
Yep.
Every character. I'm not even sure the little girl. She might have had I don't know.
She was probably a liar too.
She probably was too.
Yeah. They're all liars.
They're all liars.
Moral of the story.
Yeah. So count my lies. Don't keep track. You will run out of fingers and paper. So
don't count them. Just read it.
Just, yeah. I think you'll really enjoy it. So let us know what you think of this, and hopefully you'll read it. All right. So that was our mystery book club pick. I think it was a hit. So we are now leaving mystery and we're heading into classics. What are we reading? What did we read?
This month, Classics Book Club. Not me, unfortunately. But I am going to read this. Classics Book Club this month read East of Eden by John Steinbeck. And I'm not a classics person. You know this.
Yeah.
You should know this. I'm not a classics person. But when I heard what this was about, I felt like, why did nobody tell me? Why did nobody tell me that's what this was about? Because some of the past book club picks and our book club leader, no shame, she likes, Regency, like kind of stories like that, Jane Austen. She's going to kill me when she watches this, and so that's typically not my speed. I like something scarier, darker. Yes. And then when I found out what East of Eden was about, I was like, oh, that's dark. Yeah. So I'm sure you're familiar with it. East of Eden was written by John Steinbeck in 1952, and it is a saga following two families, the Trasks and the Hamiltons. Have you read this?
I'm not going to lie. I haven't read it, but I did see the movie.
Oh, that's half credit. Yeah. Okay. So I also did not know that it is a retelling of Genesis. And
I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't even put that together at all.
Yeah.
That's cool.
A retelling of Genesis. And that the title, East of Eden, comes from Genesis chapter 4, where after Cain kills Abel, it's the scripture verse says it, Cain goes out like from the presence of the Lord east of Eden. And so thus comes the book with themes of depravity and guilt and freedom and love. And so obviously this is an American classic, and now I'm literally dying to read it. It shot up to the top of my TBR.
I really want to read it now. It's been a long time since I saw the movie. I will bet that. So.
Yeah. So set in Central California, Salinas Valley. And I did start reading it. So I get 1% credit.
She does.
And it was very scenic. Okay. He takes a lot of time describing it. And so I did some reading on John Steinbeck and this book before we filmed this video. And he initially wrote this for his young sons at the time. So he wanted to describe the Salinas Valley and give them some pictures. So interesting. Yeah. But the book club loved this book.
Oh, good.
Loved it. And they said, our leader went and was like, okay, out of 5 stars, how many?
Yeah.
And the group was like 12. Direct quote, 12 out of 5 stars.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's blown out of the water. And so she said that the discussion could have kept going into another meeting. And there was just much to discuss. So
it's a saga. So
yeah, exactly. And I love sagas.
Yeah, I do too.
I can't believe we need to read this. Maybe we'll buddy read it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Because I have not. Steinbeck is one of those authors I've not really ventured into. So
agreed.
I like classics, and
I
tend to like the Regency and the Gothic.
That's good.
So yes. Yeah. So this is one I have not read. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll put that's on my TBR now.
Yeah. Maybe we'll buddy read it.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
So another thing, I love this edition.
I love the pages.
Yes. So deckled edges are very divisive. Do you like deckled edges?
I do. I like it. It gives it an old school feel. It feels classic. I don't know. To me, yes, I like it.
I like deckled edges too. And I feel like it is ooh, I have discovered an antique.
I do, yes.
But one of the qualms that somebody said, because the Book of Doors also has deckled edges.
Oh, I didn't pay attention to that.
I didn't realize that my two discussions.
There you go.
But somebody at Fantasy Book Club was like, it's too hard for me to turn back and like find what I'm looking for. And I know a lot of people don't like deckled edges. So where do you land? Deckled edges or not? We need to decide this.
I like pretty books. Like I like a cover that's enticing. I like the painted edges. I like, what'd you call it?
Deckled edges.
Deckled edges. I like that because
that's what they're called.
I think that just adds to the charm of displaying books, and I'm all about displaying books, so
yeah,
I'm good with that.
Yeah. So Book Club loved East
awesome.
of Eden by John Steinbeck, and they highly recommend it. If you have read it, please let me know if it was as intimidating as a read as it feels, because it's pretty thick.
Yeah.
And
that's probably why I didn't before.
Yeah. So let us know if we can manage it. Give us some encouragement.
Yeah. And if you've ever read anything else by Steinbeck, because he's just one that he's intimidating to me. I don't know why. Just
I feel that way pretty much about all classics. So I mean, I get it.
Okay. Okay.
All so right. That was classics. What do we have left? We have your book club left.
We do.
We saved the best for last.
Oh, how sweet. Well, you know, historical fiction, it's really hard for me to say is not my favorite.
Yeah.
So we are with Marie Benedict's Queens of Crime. I don't know why my royalty thing has been happening lately.
Queens of
Queens and Queens and Queens. I promise next month this has nothing to do with the queen in the title. Marie Benedict is an author that we have read before. She did First Ladies. I've actually read several of her books, and I really enjoy her. I love her writing style. And so, but I will say that she does take a little liberties sometimes with the historical part, but that's okay. She tells you that. Mm-hmm. So I'll just know that going into any of her reads. But the Queens of Crime is fun because it is surrounding 5 of the, I would say, best queens of crime authors, especially of the time period. Agatha Christie, Dorothy Sayers, Ngaio Marsh.
We had to look that up.
Yes, Baroness Orczy. I'm hoping I say that right.
Scarlet Pimpernel.
Yes. And there's another one, and my mind totally went blank. Marjorie Allingham. So I love Agatha Christie. So this was really exciting for me. And Marie Benedict also wrote a book about the time period that Agatha Christie disappeared for a short time.
That's right.
And it's a really good read. I really enjoyed that. So I was pleasantly surprised that this particular book, Dorothy Sayers is kind of the lead character in this. She's the head of this group of authors that she has put together, including men. And they've come together because at the time period, crime authors, true crime, mystery writers are kind of seen as
second rate.
Yeah, they just aren't that good. The writings, anybody can write a mystery, which amazes me because Agatha Christie's mysteries are like, what? No way.
Yeah.
So if you haven't read Dorothy Sayers, I really, really like her books as well. So she brings this group of authors together to start this club, and then the men kind of take over, even though Dorothy Sayers is the charter member, and they're like, we women, second-rate authors all together anyway. So then these 5 women decide, well, we'll show you. So they go about actually wanting to solve a real crime.
Wow.
So so there is a missing young lady that is English, but she goes missing in France. So these 5 ladies who, other than writing crime novels, crime stories, have never been in any kind of police, anything, detective work, but they travel to France, ends up the young lady dies, they find her body. So they think they're going to solve this murder better than the police department. But the French police don't take it seriously. They're like, it's a single woman in the 1930s is when this takes place. They've accused her of being with drugs. They've accused her of being a little loose. So they're kind of like, she got herself into this mess, whatever. But these ladies, being female and not with the police department, they go talk to witnesses and people that kind of reminds me a little bit of Queens of London. Right, yeah. They use their femininity where all the police department and all the journalists that are doing this story and trying to investigate are all men, and they take it in a different turn.
Right.
They find out that they had tea in a place. They bought hats in a place. All these little things that add up, and they start putting it together. It is a truly entertaining story, but to see these 5 authors put together these clues and just outsmart and outwit the police department. And Dorothy Sayers is married to a man who is a journalist at the time, and that is true to life. And he's following the story. And so his perspective as a male journalist sometimes irritates Dorothy because
interesting.
But then when she talks to him about it, he's like, oh, I didn't see that. So they're changing the viewpoints of everybody around them as far as females go and their authorship. It's a really good mystery, but you get to learn a lot about the 1930s and how women are treated yet again. And so the historical fact is great. The crime is great. I really like Marie Benedict.
What did the book club think of this?
This one was really liked. I thank you for asking.
It's a valid question.
They really liked it. They really liked it. The only thing they've ever said about Marie Benedict is that the historical facts sometimes is not as accurate because this particular murder was real, but these particular ladies never worked together to actually solve it.
Oh, I see.
But the club is real. So
they were all actually in a writing club?
They were all actually in a writing club. They all actually got together with the men and then had their own. So all of that is real, and the mystery was real. There's no proof that they actually went about trying to solve it. So
well, a lot of that is real.
Yes, yes.
Small liberties.
Just small liberties. So, but it's so well done and it's so entertaining. And I knew about Agatha Christie and Dorothy Sayers, but the other three authors I did not know. I knew the Scarlet Pimpernel, but I had never read it. So I looked up some things and I was like, oh, because they all had plays that were done. They all had, they're fascinating ladies, especially Baroness Orczy, because she was part of when Russia and Prussia, all of that. So like she was this Baroness and then not.
Right, yeah.
And then became this author. So they're fascinating ladies. I highly recommend reading it, and let us know what you think, especially if you've read other Marie Benedict or if you've read any of the authors mentioned in here.
So that was our April book club recap. We did The Book of Doors, East of Eden, Queens of Crime,
and Count My Lies.
Overall, it was a great month for book clubs.
It was.
Every book club liked their picks, which is just which is really great. So we'd love to know what you think about these picks and if you've read any of them. So please leave us a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on a single episode.
And we are so grateful for those of you that have already subscribed and keep coming back, and we just can't thank you enough for it. And we are very appreciative, and thank you for joining us.
So that was it for Best in Show Books today. I'm Shelby.
And I'm Gina.
And we'll see you next time.